Hello everyone and welcome to this explainer. If you've ever found yourself wondering exactly how businesses measure online success, well, you are in the exact right place. Today we're taking an entire course on digital marketing metrics and breaking the whole shebang down simply and visually. Think of this as your masterclass in understanding what works, what doesn't, and how to actually engineer better results using data.
You know, whenever a business runs ads, posts content, or launches a shiny new website, they absolutely have to answer one ultimate question. I mean, you pour time, sweat, and budget into the digital void, but at the end of the day, was it successful? Did anyone actually care? Or did you just blow a massive chunk of your budget on an ad literally no one looked at? Answering that question is the entire foundation of marketing metrics.
And this really illustrates the core difference in the industry today. Marketing without metrics, it's just guessing. You're basically throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping something sticks. But using metrics makes you data-driven. Being data-driven helps you reduce incredible amounts of waste, understand exactly how your customers are behaving, and ultimately improve real bottom-line sales. It's the difference between crossing your fingers for results and actually engineering them.
So, here is our game plan for today. We're going to hit attention and engagement, action and cost, the big picture, look at a real-world application, and wrap things up with careers.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1. Attention and engagement, where we track the very first steps a customer takes.
It all begins with website traffic. This is your most basic, foundational metric. We're talking about measuring, for example, if 10,000 people visited your site. But it's not just about that total number, right? It's about knowing where they came from. Did they find you on Google, or maybe click a social media post? And what specific pages they looked at once they arrived. This ties directly into your KPIs, or Key Performance Indicators. Depending on your goals, your KPIs might be tracking leads, overall site visits, or maybe app downloads. Basically, traffic is the raw material of the digital marketing world.
But getting someone to just see your link, that isn't enough. We use the click-through rate, or CTR, to measure who actually took the bait and clicked. The formula is super simple. Just take your clicks, divide them by your total impressions, which is just the number of times the ad was shown, and multiply by 100.
To put that into perspective, if 100 people see an ad and 10 of them click it, your CTR is a solid 10%. In the marketing world, a higher number means much better performance. It tells you your ad is catchy, your message is really resonating, and you are successfully grabbing people's attention.
However, getting that click is only half the battle. If visitors hit your site and immediately jump ship without interacting, that causes a high bounce rate. This usually points to poor content, a slow website, or just a really clunky user experience. Your goal is always a low bounce rate, which means you fix those slow load times and people are actually sticking around to see what you have to offer.
Now, if we're talking about social media marketing rather than a traditional website, we track their attention through specific engagement metrics. We're looking at things like likes, shares, comments, views, and saves. These metrics are literally the heartbeat of social media. They tell you not just if someone scrolled past your post, but if it actually made them stop, think, and interact with you.
Moving right along to Section 2, action and cost, making the math actually work for us. Once we have their attention, we want action. The conversion rate shows us the percentage of visitors who take a valuable action. And keep in mind, this doesn't just mean buying a product. A conversion could be signing up for a newsletter or downloading a piece of software. The formula is conversions divided by visitors multiplied by 100. This is the ultimate test of your website's persuasiveness.
For instance, if 100 people visit your site and 5 actually buy something, you have a 5% conversion rate. Think about this. If you can bump that 5% up to a 6 or 7% just by changing the color of a button or tweaking a headline, you can massively increase your revenue without having to find a single new visitor. It's a real game changer.
But of course, paying for those initial visitors isn't free, which brings us to our cost per click, or CPC. This is an absolutely vital metric for paid platforms like Google Ads or Meta Ads. It tells you exactly how much money is leaving your bank account every single time someone clicks on your advertisement.
Let's do the math real quick. If you spend 10 euros on ads and get exactly 5 clicks in return, your cost per click is 2 euros. As a marketer, your main goal is to optimize your campaigns to bring that cost down, getting way more traffic for way less money.
Taking it one step further, we look at cost per acquisition, or CPA. Clicks are great, sure, but customers pay the bills. CPA calculates the total cost required to acquire one actual paying customer.
So, if you spend €100 on a campaign and get 10 paying customers out of it, your cost per acquisition is €10. Driving that specific cost down means vastly better overall performance for the entire business.
Zooming out now for Section 3, the big picture, where we measure the true long-term value of these campaigns.
This brings us to the absolute king of all metrics, return on investment, or ROI. This is the ultimate measure of whether your marketing is actually profitable or if you're just burning cash. You calculate it by taking your profit, subtracting your costs, dividing by that cost, and multiplying by 100. Honestly, it's the one number the CEO cares about the most. If you spend €100 on an ad campaign and you earn €200 back in profit, that is a fantastic ROI of 100%. You literally doubled your money. And what's crucial here is that a great ROI also helps increase the customer lifetime value, or CLV. When your marketing targets the right people efficiently, those customers don't just buy once, they become loyal fans who keep coming back over time, driving that lifetime value right through the roof.
Now, here's the secret. Nobody actually sits around doing all this math on a notepad. To interpret this data and generate reports, professionals rely on industry tools. Software like Google Analytics, Google Search Console, and Meta Business Suite are essentially the control centers where marketers track user behavior and make critical, everyday decisions.
Let's put all this theory into practice with Section 4, Real-World Application, taking a look at the online store funnel. Imagine an online store funneling customers down. It's like a giant funnel that starts super wide. Out of an initial pool of traffic, Step 1 shows us we have 10,000 website visitors. Moving down, the click-through rate metrics in Step 2 show that 500 of those people actually clicked on our specific promotional ads. Finally, the conversion rate in Step 3 reveals that 50 of those people actually bought products. By tracking every single step of this funnel, a business can calculate their exact cost per acquisition and their final ROI. If only 50 bought, they know exactly where they lost people in the funnel and exactly where to improve next time.
Which leads us perfectly into our final section, Section 5, Careers, Unlocking Your Future in Data.
Because you now understand how to read these metrics and make smart, data-driven decisions, you are equipped for some highly sought-after, very lucrative roles. Companies are literally desperate for people who can prove their marketing actually works. You could step into roles like a digital marketing analyst, a performance marketer, a pay-per-click specialist, or even a marketing manager. Mastering these metrics isn't just about doing math, it's about proving value, and that makes you incredibly valuable in the job market.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with something to ponder. When it comes time to launch your next project or campaign, will your business decisions be a hopeful guess or a profitable, data-driven certainty? The numbers are out there waiting for you. You just have to know how to read them. Thank you so much for joining me today. Keep analyzing, keep optimizing, and keep learning.